What's the first thing that pops in your mind when you think about North Face? Snow, jackets, backpacks, outdoor clothing. You probably aren't thinking about shoes, but I think that needs to change. Hey, this is Alan with Dusty Hikers. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to review a shoe that I'm pretty excited about. It does have some issues. It's the North Face Vectiv Exploris with Futurelight. So just really quick, some things that this shoe does very well. If you want all-day comfort and you want to move very quickly on trails with really decent protection in a pretty lightweight hiker, then this is a shoe that you should definitely consider. The downside for me is the rockered sole design. On anything other than well-groomed flat hiking trails, I found them to be slightly unstable. So as every year I go and buy a bunch of hiking shoes and then I test them against each other and then share all that information with you guys. And this year is no different. So this is one of the shoes that I chose. It stacked up pretty well in some of the testing against the other shoes, and in other things it didn't do well at all. And we're going to go into all of that right now. So first off, with comfort and weight. As I said, this shoe provides all-day comfort. You can wear these shoes for 12 hours straight and you're probably going to feel pretty good. It has a very, very reactive midsole, and also the rockered sole design. It just really worked for me on walking again on flat surfaces and just moving quickly through the woods. I would also often take these to work because Futurelight is waterproof. See that right there? And so on rainy days in Florence, Italy, I would often wear these to work because they're black. They didn't look so much like a hiking shoe, and I could get away with wearing them with some of my work clothes. Also on comfort, they have significant padding in the uppers, and they have very, very good construction. North Face put a lot of energy and effort into designing a very, very good shoe. And I think that most people that try these on, if they fit, they're going to enjoy walking in them. In fact, this year in the testing, I awarded these the best walking shoe of the shoes that I tested. So this is a US men's 12. It comes in at 15.76 ounces, or about 446.8 grams to be precise. I think for this shoe and all the features that it has, I think that's a pretty decent weight. It was among the lighter shoes that I tested, if not the lightest shoe. Okay, so for comfort, the way that I test this shoe and against the other shoes is that I just spend lots of time on trail. So I spend about 30 miles hiking in these shoes on multiple different hikes here in Tuscany. I take notes and think about how the shoes are reacting in different hiking scenarios and different situations, and then just compile all of that information and compare the shoes against each other. Okay, next up is protection. These shoes did very well in protection. So for protection, what I do is, again, hiking in the shoes, seeing how they feel on my foot, if I'm bumping into things, going off trail, scampering up hills and things like that. This shoe has a ripstop Cordura mesh on the top, which is very high quality. It also has, like a lot of other hiking shoes now, it has this thermoplastic overlay that wraps around the base of the shoe, almost like a rand, and it goes all the way up the heel. So I think for protection, like for your upper foot, this is about as good as you're going to get in a light mesh hiking shoe like this. Where these shoes really stand out is protection underfoot. They have a pretty decent midsole. Again, it's very reactive, and they have a pretty decent outsole. But I think the reason why these shoes scored second place, losing only to the Adidas Terrex Swift R3, is because there's just so much stack here. Again, it has a rockered sole design, and so there's a lot of material underneath your forefoot. And so to test for protection underfoot, what I do is I just put a different shoe on each foot and I step on a rock and see which shoe transfers less of that rock to the bottom of my foot, and then at the end see which shoe beat all other shoes, and so on and so forth. And so this shoe did get second place, does very well in protection underfoot. So if you're planning on going on trails that have a lot of gravel and rocks and things like that, I think that this could be a really good option. Also a shoe, I must say, that I go jogging in every week, and I go trail running here in just outside of Florence on gravel, and they perform perfectly. So this is also a shoe that if you want a trail running shoe, this is also a shoe that I think you should look at. Again, if you're not familiar with the rockered sole design, it does a lot of work for you. And so again, you're going to want to move, and you're going to want to move quickly, whether you're hiking or running. Hey, you are more than halfway through this video at this point, and so you've outperformed most people that come to this video. If you really want to support my channel, hit subscribe. I am so close to 1,000 subscribers, I can taste it. Probably by the time this is uploaded, I may already have 1,000, but please just go ahead and hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can come back to this channel in a year after you've purchased these shoes and look and see what other shoes I'm recommending. The other thing that you can do to support my channel, because I buy all of these hiking shoes with my own money and then do all of this reviewing for like 2 months for you guys and deliver this material. So if you want, you could go and purchase this shoe that's in the link. The North Face Vectiv Exploris is already, the second version is already out. So this shoe, I purchased it for like $160. I think you can get it for like $100 right now on Amazon. Or at other outlets as well. So I would definitely go and check this shoe out right now because they may just completely run out of stock since they already have the second version out. Finally, the last thing that you can do is just hit like, and that will help the almighty YouTube algorithm. Okay, another test that I do is traction on trail. This year, so in the past years, I've done grip just on a smooth surface and see which outsole provides more grip on that surface. This year, I decided to do traction. The North Face Vectiv Exploris with Futurelight features an outsole compound called Surface Control, which does pretty well. I think for a general run-of-the-mill hiking shoe, it's going to probably beat many of them. So what I did for traction was, again, I just kind of see how those shoes perform on trail, but then I also do another round of head-to-head testing where I put a different shoe on each foot and then I scamper up this dirt and debris hill and see which one gives me more purchase as I'm trying to claw my way up this hill. This shoe actually tied for third, essentially tied for last, against the 5 other shoes. So the 2 other shoes that it tied with, it was virtually indistinguishable. I couldn't tell which one was providing more, but there are 2 shoes that provided significantly more traction than this shoe. So if you want to check out what shoes those are and actually which shoe won the competition this year, you can check out the video on my YouTube channel that's best hiking shoes of the year and figure out which one that is. This shoe has a typical lug pattern, so you can see at the top the chevrons are faced in such a way that they're going to cup material for you and help you claw your way up, and then of course on the heel they're faced the other direction as you go downhill. I think that these soles work pretty well. Again, I use these shoes all the time, trail running, hiking, I even wear them to work, and I think that they do provide significant traction and that they're going to work for most people in most hiking scenarios. Okay, finally, stability. This is the one Achilles heel of this shoe. So what I found was with the rockered sole design, they work extremely well, and you're going to want to move quickly on trail if you're on flat, relatively groomed hiking trails. Once you start scampering off trail, I found them to be slightly unstable. With a rockered sole design, if you've never been on one, you're sort of committed to either resting on your heel or resting on your toes. Because this is a very, very rigid sole, which is designed to give you energy as you move forward. And so as long as you're moving and as long as it's flat, these are great. But again, going off trail, I just feel like they're not as stable. I would really also not use these with a heavy backpack on a trail, just because of the fact that I feel like this rockered sole design, at least for me, it's not as stable as other hiking platforms. So North Face has this product called the 3D Vectiv Plate, which is supposed to provide responsiveness, energy, and stability. Again, responsiveness and energy, yes, I think it does very well at that, but it doesn't provide a lot of stability, in my opinion. Maybe if I spent more time in the shoe, I would get better and better and more used to the rockered sole design. I mean, I've been walking and hiking and running in them for about 4 months, and I'm fine, again, on flat trails, but not on uneven off-trail scampering. I don't feel super comfortable in these. Okay, final thoughts. This is a shoe that's going to fit a lot of feet. It's very comfortable and you're going to want to move quickly. It gives you energy as you run and walk. So I think you should definitely check this out. Again, the second version of this is already out, so you can probably get this shoe for significantly less than $160, maybe even like as little as $100. And at that price, this shoe is an absolute steal. I also found that the Futurelight waterproof system works extremely well on super rainy days in Florence or trail running or even hiking in the rain. I had 0 issues with water getting into these. Again, just the only downside for me with these shoes is the rockered sole design. It's not for everybody. If you're used to rockered sole, I think you should definitely check these shoes out. So North Face is not just about clothing. It's not just about backpacks. It's also about footwear. Well done, North Face. You have a new fan in me. Okay, that is it for the North Face Vectiv Exploris with Futurelight. I will see you guys in the next one.